question. Did you ever sell a refrigerator? I did 3 times. Count them. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Let's talk about it. Hey, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I love to help people keep their money too. How you doing today? Hope this afternoon show finds everybody doing well. If anybody was to approach me a few years ago and say, you, Janet, are going to sell 3 refrigerators in your future, I'd laugh and go, yeah, right. But I did. I really, really did. And I did it on Craigslist. Now, here's what happened. In instance number 1, I was getting rid of one of my refrigerators from my home. I had a house and I sold that refrigerator, and I'll tell you how I did that. And then in 2 other instances, I got rid of refrigerators for other people. Imagine that. And then wake up one day and say, hey, you're going to be, excuse me, a refrigerator salesperson, but I turn out to be one. You know, it's actually a lot easier than you think. It really, really is. Here's the reason why I decided to sell. First of all, every single refrigerator was, the upright models with the, freezer on the top type thing. Simple refrigerator. But the key is this. They were both working refrigerators. Nothing wrong with them. People get tired of looking at a certain model of a refrigerator. They're tired of the color. Perhaps they want a stainless model. They're tired of looking at the, older standard models or whatever. Or their needs are such that they no longer need that refrigerator because maybe the new place they're moving in has a more modern refrigerator that came with the place. You know where I'm going with that. But to lose the value of those paid for refrigerators would be ridiculous. So here was my rule of thumb, and it works. Number 1, price it to sell. Number 2, make very clear ads that if you want the refrigerator, it is a cash transaction, and you are responsible for picking it up and removing it. Okay. So just imagine, not only are you going to make a little money back, but you also lose the headache of figuring out to pay someone else to haul away your perfectly good refrigerator, because let's think about it. You know darn well that those other haulaway companies are simply going to resell that working refrigerator. So what I did, I scrubbed all the refrigerators down, but I'll tell you separately what happened on the other refrigerators that, were not mine, okay? You scrub them down, make sure they're shinier than shiny and beautiful and very fresh. And can I tell you a story? In my case, within 1 hour with my personal refrigerator, within 1 hour of listing, I got a lot of responses, and I had this thought in my head, first come, first serve. And I indicated that in my ad, by the way, which seemed to help. So by indicating first come, first serve, this is a cash only transaction. That's what I said. And I priced it to sell. And I cannot believe how many people, they have their little trucks and their little dolly trucks, hand trucks to remove the refrigerator. There goes whatever money I made on it right in my hands. And they were perfectly happy. They were like, thank you for saving me like a ton of money on a refrigerator. A lot of people are on really, really tight budgets. And not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping them, and you're not wasting perfectly good refrigerator. Because trust me, the junk person that buys your refrigerator, or not buys your refrigerator, the one that you pay for hauling it away, they will make money and sell your refrigerator if it is in working condition. So the 2 other instances were kind of like sad instances, because there was a neighbor whose dad died unexpectedly, and it was right near Christmas time that year. And I actually helped empty out their whole apartment. I didn't wake up saying, I want to do this. They asked me. They were like, they lived in another state, and they asked me, like, I don't know what to do with my dad's stuff. I said, well, why don't you put it on Craigslist? They were like, yeah, but you're over here. Do you do Craigslist? And yeah, at that time I was actively doing Craigslist. And by the way, this is not a sponsored ad for Craigslist, just saying what I used. So, excuse me, please. Can I tell you something? I put that refrigerator up within 2 hours. Big deal, an extra hour. Within 2 hours, I got a lot of responses. And yes, another person came by with their truck and their little hand truck. And of course, no. And by the way, I wanted to give all the monies to the individual that lost their dad. And they were like, no, 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 you keep this. You're doing the work. I said, no, I don't feel proper about this. You know, you lost your dad. You have expenses coming up. And I really insisted that, they keep the money. So they were like, no, go half. So it was like, we just kept going back and forth on the whole thing because to help empty out like clocks and tables and chairs. This was really funny. The person that passed away had a very interesting vintage chair. I wouldn't say it was an antique. It was vintage. It was like from like 1970s. And remember what chairs might have looked like in the 70s? This one had like a gold corduroy. It was a very weird design and color. It was quite 1970 something. Okay. And it was covered in plastic, which is like what a lot of people did back in the 1970s. And so this person saw the picture of this chair. I said, this chair is never going to sell. I thought it would be like, like a thorn in my side. That was one of the, besides the refrigerator, that was the second thing to go. And guess what the person wanted for? I said, may I ask you, why are you so excited about this particular chair? Well, as it turned out, that person was doing a show production, a play, and they needed that chair for the props to look like something from the 1970s. You never know what you're going to come across. Excuse me, please. So it was like so interesting. And I thought that it was literally, I thought that emptying out a whole person's apartment, through like sort of like an estate type sale thing was going to take like forever. But honestly, within 10 days, a week and a half, I got rid of everything. It was sad. Every time I walked into that person's apartment, it just broke my heart. It's like, I said, I don't even know the man. I said, sir, I'm not throwing away your life. You're, trying to help your daughter. And it just felt weird, but I was able to help a lot of people. I was able to help a lot of people by doing that transaction. This is, by the way, this is something for anyone who really should start a small side hustle. It is a great place to begin. So the third refrigerator was a similar situation. Somehow word got around. I have a frog in my throat, forgive me. That somehow word got around that I, helped someone else, with their family when they passed away, sell things rather quickly on Craigslist. And, it happened again. It's amazing how word of mouth, this was not through internet, word of mouth, like the old fashioned way, word of mouth got around that neighborhood that I helped to sell. So here are the tricks. Keep your Craigslist ads or whatever platform you're using. Keep them honest. Keep them detailed. Take as many pictures as you need. Make it price to sell. Let it be clear that, well, for me, this was my preference, cash only transaction, and state your hours of availability. And, you just do it that way. And, oh, by the way, just to mention to you, there is another story I want to mention to you. I also ended up selling in another place of mine, a tool shed. I didn't need a tool shed in the newer place that I was going to at the time. I didn't need a tool shed. It was a beautiful tool shed, came with the house. Within 1 hour, I got a response to that. And that person came and dismantled that tool shed, packed up the tool shed. It was so cute. It looked like a little house. And within 1 hour. Another thing, just to mention, these appliances go very quickly too. I also sell the washer and a dryer and a dishwasher. If they are working, bingo, you just hit the jackpot. All you have to do is make sure you emphasize that those appliances are working. So if you're looking for a side hustle, I wasn't looking for a side hustle. I was just getting rid of stuff. And at that moment, and for a little while, that turned into a side hustle. And it paid. There you go. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. I know that this message will help, and I'll be back with a way. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye.